from our side, it is just the end of an era, the end of a brilliant broadcasting life at 947. His name is Alex J. Do you remember a time, Alex, when you were just called Alex and not the legendary Alex J?
Hell yeah. At home, every day. No, listen, do you think I'll take that legend thing seriously?
Yes.
No ways. How could you do that? No. It's just me. Just a little bit older.
But I mean, think about it. You have had what I'll call Hashim Amla innings when it comes to radio.
Oh, why, thank you. Yes, you're right, because I picked the right stations to work for, ne?
Oh, yes. And then you just towed the company line. You're like, you know what?
Well, you get the job, then you get in and you get good at what you do, and then you rock the boat.
And then you rock the boat.
You don't come in boots and all.
So I want to go to your very, 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 very first broadcast because
wow.
you hardly, I mean, you didn't even work anywhere else. You were just like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I want to do radio, and I'm going in.
Hell yeah. Radio was the thing. 702, we're a music station at the time, medium wave. And I have to tell you this. If you need to know the difference between now and then in terms of radio, when I started in radio, guys, there were 12 radio stations.
In the entire country?
In the entire country!
So how do you know that you can make it? Because it's your dream, you're growing up, you want to be on radio.
You don't know that. It's a completely unrealistic dream. To go into radio as a 21-year-old, which I was at the time,
yeah,
it was impossible. You would have to go, and firstly we'd have to know people. Doesn't matter how talented you were. Obviously you had to be talented, but you had to know people, get an intro, get the audition, and now you're competing. You're like one of 1,000 people competing for 2 jobs on a station.
And I mean, back then it was and still is, but I mean, not as much anymore, about the voice. So in high school, did you grow up people saying, wow, your voice is amazing?
Not at all.
So then how do you know your voice is good?
I didn't know that my voice was good. And if I did, you don't think I might have had an ego about it? It's just me. I'm completely calm and relaxed. I know that I can do some things, and I'm sort of moderately talented in various areas. But like the voice, you say that back in the early days, it was the voice of from above, ne?
Like Treasure
That was
Shabalala.
Yeah, I can't even do Treasure.
See what I'm saying?
I'm trying to do that. I'm not even going to attempt it. But all of those guys, I mean, they had like the classic radio voice. Hi, this is John Burks. You're listening to 702 and all of that. And Treasure and Mishma Petler even, and all of those guys. The big voices. Then I come along like, yo, what's up, everybody?
With your hair that looks like Rod Stewart in the beginning of his days.
Yeah, with a weed whacker. I mean, those were the early days of hairstyles as well, let me tell you. I mean, back in the 80s, if you wanted to go blonde highlights and you had dark hair, you came out purple, baby.
And
purple.
that was it. So you then come on to 702, and it's still doing music at that time.
Yeah, it was a big music station. It was the most influential music station, that and Capital 604.
So why not go to Capital?
I wanted to go to Capital, but there was 2 reasons. Number one, they were based in Old Transkei, they're in the homeland, which is a long way away from civilization, guys.
Yeah.
The guys that worked there, I envied all of them, and you're talking about all of the British jocks.
Yeah.
Kevin Savage, Tony Blurd, all of those guys. They that was their station down there. Plus, of course, Kenny Maestri and all the local guys that made up and Darren Scott and who else? Anthony Duke, and good grief. I mean, there was just like tons of those guys. They were based down there, and they had this like whole club vibe going, and they were drinking and boating and khaning tequila and everything.
They're like the rock stars.
They were the established rock stars. I'm like, the little guy in the wings going, whoa, can I play with you people?
Yeah.
And the answer was no. I'm glad I didn't go down there. I don't think I would have recovered.
You wouldn't have made it out alive.
Nah, I'm not a big drinker, you see.
Anymore?
At all.
Yeah. No, but wait. Okay, you're not a big drinker, but you did teach me how to drink double tequila and Red Bull.
Yeah, it's the breakfast of champions.
I remember you were hosting an event at what was Manhattan Club back then, and it was a chip event, the Kellogg's chips or something, kettle chips.
Yeah,
and you were the MC, and I went to go and say what's up to you, and then you taught me how to drink that, and it's since become my favorite drink. So that's my story for you.
Got a couple of new ones for you, but we'll talk about that off the air.
I like you. I like you like that. So then at 702 producing.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'd arrived because prior to that, I'd been an actor for a while. I'd worked in theatre, and I'd also played professionally in a band because, I dropped out of varsity. I figured I've got at least 3 years, so let's go crazy, do all the stuff I want to do that ordinarily you would go, nah, I better get a job. So
the plan was always to go back and study or to go back and do a job?
Oh, hell yeah, I was going to go finish a law degree.
OMG.
Sound familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Very, very familiar.
Yeah, no, so that was never going to happen, guys, never. But I mean, I rock up. I was technically trained, and this is great advice for anybody getting into radio. It doesn't matter how fast your brain works or how well you speak or how you can put an argument together or field calls or interviews and everything. If you haven't got the technical skills, no station's going to look at you. So get your chops up. And it's easy to do now. You can do it on a mixer on a computer screen even. Because a mixer is a mixer is a mixer.
Who did you convince to allow you to go behind the microphone and put it on?
Okay, no. This is the craziest thing of all. Okay, if you think that I planned this career, you are so wrong.
So it's fluke.
My band broke up literally on the night before our first big residency because the bass player and the drummer were involved in with one girl, and there was a bit of a fallout. So the night before the gig, so I lose my gig. I've got all these keyboards and everything for the band that I'm still paying off, and I need a gig.
Yeah.
So I phoned up. Literally, my friend, the bass player, said, "Dude, why don't you just phone up 702? I know they're a small station, but they must need audio engineers." Mm-hmm. Cold called the switchboard at lunchtime. The switchboard operator was away. The station manager's secretary was answering the phones. A English Chinese lady. I will never forget her name, Jenny Morris. Yeah, English Chinese. Hello, 702. And I go, hi, how's it? As you do. Actually, I still have a bit more of the public school thing, even though I went to government school.
Okay.
Hi, I'm a fully qualified engineer and I'm looking for a job. Would you be... Oh, I'm so sorry, love. We're a very small company. But you've got a lovely voice and we're doing auditions. Why don't you come in? I'll pencil you in.
I'll pencil you in then.
And ba-bam, went through, did the audition, got the gig. Now, I did not plan that, guys. I phoned them up to be a technical guy. I wanted to produce. I wanted to do... I'll be your engineer.
Yeah.
I'll control for you. And then they shoved me in front of the microphone. Weird.
So, your first broadcast ever, do you plan what you're going to say? Are your friends listening? Do you tell your parents to tune in? You know, what moments are you going through? Or do you keep quiet so that in case you suck, that no one is listening?
Yes, you keep quiet and you don't let anybody know in advance too much. Don't build yourself up. You don't even know what you're capable of and you're already like laying down the hype. I'm the best. Hold on a second, buddy. The best part of all, and this is, I don't think you ever had it, hey? Overnights.
I did have overnights.
Did you do overnights?
I did have overnights.
What an amazing opportunity to learn your craft.
Yes, you get to know yourself.
Lord.
You make all your mistakes there. And you fall in love with the medium.
Absolutely. That's when I genuinely fell in love.
I call it the morning breath of radio.
Yeah.
If you're going to love someone forever, you have to deal with their morning breath.
Absolutely. And overnight is the morning breath of radio.
It's the morning breath of radio.
1 till 6 in the morning for a year and a half. And I adapted my lifestyle and it was awesome. Wake up at lunchtime, go do some voiceovers, mess around, go have something to eat, and then get to the radio station at midnight. Oh, what a joy. Nobody there. You've got the keys to the Ferrari. Oh, what a pleasure.
So for me, I tell the story all the time and in any interview when I'm asked, so how did you make it to commercial radio? And I said, because of Alex J. And they're like, no, man, what do you mean Alex J is the reason you're on commercial radio? Because I used to do a show on Tax FM.
Yes, you did, and it was damn good.
And I don't know how you got to listen to it, but you used to listen to my show, and every day you'd come to work and you'd tell the boss, Ravi Naidu, listen, there's a girl, her name is Anele. Mm-hmm. If you don't get her, somebody else is going to do it. And then we're going to have problems.
But he didn't tell you the other, the rider of that, and that was, but I think she's studying and you'd better clear it with her parents because I have a funny feeling that Dad is going to kill me and you if we pull this girl out of a second year into her degree and just like, you're a radio star now. And look at you now.
And look at me now. And I mean, to think about it, we're out there and I was also doing law. So where have you heard this story before?
Wow, isn't it crazy? But I got to tell you guys, turning on to Tux back in the day, I had been listening to all of the campus radio stations, all of them. Whoever was streaming, coastal guys, everybody, community stations. Anele stood out. It was night and day. There was but nobody else. Nobody. That guy that was your sidekick at the time, who's now the station manager at 5, he was pretty good too. But you, oh my greatness.
All right, so I want to know from you, what is your story that stands out about Alex J? I said you can get us on our WhatsApp line. It's 073-579-3445. But also we got a few surprises coming through for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you you don't like surprises, I know you.
If it's a stripper and a cake, my wife will be watching.
No, Princess Fiona's not going to be happy about that. Do we have the first guy? Are we trying to get hold of him? We're trying to get hold. Okay, let's move on to the next numbers. Just keep on calling people. I do know we've got a few voice notes as well, though. Let's go with the first one.
Hi there, Tony Blewett here, just paying tribute to Alex J. When I first came to South Africa from radio on a station in Europe, in actual fact, came here and I said, so who's the big gun? Who's the big name in radio in this country? Everyone said, Alex J, he's the man. He still is the man. Al, all the very best. You never know, we could be working again together. You never know. Tony Blewett here, wishing you all the very best, Al.
Oh, bless you, Tony. Sweet.
You guys did voiceovers for Top Billing together as well, right?
Kevin Savage and myself did, and then the late Phil Wright. We were doing the top billing things. I haven't done them for quite a few years now. Because you know why? Because they're a Cape Town company and I live in Joburg.
Oh.
They're like, sorry, you're leaving us now. That provincial attitude. Sure.
When did you start thinking about your last day on radio? And I know, I mean, you could be at another radio station. I don't think that this is the end for you, and I don't think it should be.
Thanks, Anele.
Because you're still going to do 702. And even after that, there's just so many other things that you could do. But do you ever think about the last day where you switch off the mic forever?
No. It's terrifying.
It is, right?
I mean, I had it for, before I joined 947, between leaving 5 and joining 947 when it was still 94.7 Highveld stereo.
Yeah.
I had 6 months off and I would be walking around with like burning thing. I've got to tell you guys this. And I would stop people in the street and say, have you heard about this thing? And the people looking at me like, yo, me bro. You've got a problem.
You've got issues.
Yeah. No. It's like having your arm cut off. So, I have to, but I have to grow up a little bit. But more about that just now.
More about that. And then let's talk about you being the first person in the country to play a song that you were not allowed to play because it was apartheid. And this song has then since become a classic in South Africa, one of the biggest songs and one of the most uniting songs for South Africa.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm on 702, been there about a year and a half. They give me a nighttime show, and then they're trying to encourage us to work at weekends because that's what management does. And there's like no budget. And we were young and silly, so we're like, I'll do all the shows. Okay, you can have one at the weekend. What do you want to do? My friend Neil Johnson, who was at the station at the time, he's currently Kaya's station manager. He and we were hanging out and we were sharing a house together and all that kind of stuff. And he'd started a local music show called Homebrew. And it was focused very much on all of the rock stuff and everything. So I had this grand idea. As I was a musician, and I'd hung out with all of these musicians, and obviously there is no caliber in musicianship. There never was, there never will be.
So one uniting thing, music and sport.
I believe even in country music you might find that, although you'd have to look pretty hard. Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to the radio station and said, I want to do a South African music show, but I only want to do crossovers. And they were like,
what?
Really? No. Is this the time? I went, hell yeah. We are the Rainbow Station, not the gay flag. In those days, it was long before the Arch came up with the Rainbow Nation. 702 slogan was Channel 702, the Rainbow Sound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah? So, and that was Izzy Kirsch's thing, is that I wanted to be the rainbow, the full color spectrum, and that's we must aim at all South Africans. So they agreed in principle, and I'd been given a copy of this, and it was on 12-inch vinyl, which I still have. 12-inch vinyl.
You still have that same record?
I still have that same record. And when I heard this, it blew my mind for so many reasons. Number one, it wasn't Afrocentric. It wasn't trying to be American jazz or whatever. It was straight African pop.
Yeah.
Straight African pop. And they were like, do you think it'll work? Put it on the air, the result. Well, why don't you hear for yourself, guys?
Yes.
I got to play this as a new release. Legit. First time airplay on 702 back in the day.
And no wedding is ever complete without it.
It's my friend Brasips.
947.
Sipho Hotsticks Mabuse. What a nice guy. Seriously. I mean, I was aware of the guy's existence. I knew he was in the Beaters, and of course he was fabulous in Harare. When I was on 702, when there was still a music station back in 1980, early 80s, I did a South African music show that was different to the other South African music show that was on the air. Because I figured, where's the black music? Where's the brown music? Where's the beige music? We were playing a lot of white rock and folk and pop and everything, but I found this record. I heard the marimba line and I was like, this is a smash hit. I've got to play it. Played it on my 702 show back in the days when it was still pretty much a white audience. The response was staggering. The phone rang off the hook. I thought, my boss phoned me. I thought I was going to be fired for sure. And all he said was, what is the name of that song? It's going on the main playlist. That was Sipho Hotsticks' Burnout. But I'm here to tell you, Burnout may be 30 years old this year, but what about Shikisha? What about Jive Soweto? What about Chant of the Marching? Sipo Hotsticks. So proud of you, my friend. You deserve to be on a postage stamp. No, really, you do. And I'll tell you something else. I am so happy and grateful that you organized the Musicians Union Executive meeting with Madiba 1 week after he was released from jail all those years ago. That makes you a hero in my books. God bless you, Sipo Hotsticks. Here's to the next 50 years. Hey, medical science, you never know.
947.
Today is like the penultimate series, and then tomorrow your 3 hours will be your 3 hours, Mr. J. Already had a note from Tony Blewett, who speaks very highly of you. I think the entire industry actually speaks highly of you, and in the next 30 minutes we're going to learn about that. A few voice notes coming through from you, 073-579-3445. All the love for Mr. J.
So Alex J, what can I say? You are to South African radio what Rian Kruiwagen was to South African TV news, a true legend. I grew up listening to you on the radio and I will truly miss hearing your voice. Hope the next phase of your life is truly blessed. Go well, Alex J, go well.
Awamara, Alex, you going? LEX, Awamara, Joe, all the best, Joe. No one's gonna read history for me, but I know with you, I always hear what happened today, 100 years ago. I'm gonna miss you.
Hi, sir. Thank you for your music. I remember the first time I saw you was on a TV program called Zap Mag. That's before I knew radio existed. Thank you. You are awesome. Keep up the good stuff. We love you. Lorraine. Bye-bye.
Alex J, a master, a legend, a hero on radio. Enjoy, bud. All the love from everyone in Joburg.
All right, man.
That's so sweet.
I know. Is it not heartwarming to know that your entire adult life you have been adored? Your entire, from when you were 21, Alex.
Wow, that's some scary stuff, huh?
Right? And it's never gone to your head.
No, because it's just me. I told you guys, it's just me.
I knew you were a big deal when my mother knew about Alex J. She's like, hi, Alex J, look.
Really?
Alex. And I was like, wait a minute. In my mind, she only knew people from what was Radio Metro back then.
Sure.
And but she knew you, and she knew your life, and she knew you on TV,
Wow.
and she followed you. And speaking of TV, I got introduced to this person, not through radio, but through TV, when he was part of a game show called Telefon Quiz.
Oh my greatness.
And yesterday, I emailed the BBC looking for his number, and they were like, he's on holiday in France, and sorry, you can't disturb him. So I write a long letter about you, Alex,
Wow.
to this lady at the BBC.
Wow.
And then she says, I feel sorry for your kid. I'm going to get hold of him. I'm going to interrupt his
sweet.
holiday in France. And then he emailed me and he said, Martin here, holiday in France. I'll do anything for Alex. How can I
him.
jump in here? And on the line,
Oh, man.
Martin Bailey, good morning.
Bonjour, Martin.
Well, good. Bonjour, Alex. Hey, it's Thursday, and the very long weekend starts here.
Oh man, Martin, so nice to hear from you. Thank you. Can you believe it? They're not doing to me what they used to do to old broadcasters back in the day, which is like, okay, your time's up, and they take you around the back and shoot you. It's like, there's so much more touchy feely carey now. I love it.
Martin.
Great. Listen, I've got a couple of things to say. First of all, I've got to say that when Alex first started in radio on 702, everybody was so scared of this talent that was coming in that everyone was talking about. And he took 702 and the likes of 5FM on the Breakfast Show to new heights. He is an outstanding broadcaster and a very good friend.
Oh, Martin, stop it now. You're going to make me cry. Sure. And the guy that, can I just say, while Martin is on the line, that the most difficult decision career-wise I had ever had to make was to leave 702 after 3.5 amazing years of being part of an incredible family, to go to the state broadcast and be put through the Bureau of State Security's computers and then go and broadcast on 5.
Martin.
But it was he that got me the gig. Martin got me the gig. He 2 years in a row said, no, I know you're turning it down. Okay, we'll try again the next year. And it was his persistence that got me there. So God bless you, Martin. Thank you, man. You are a role model like you. But then you know that. That's the way it is, man.
But I want to jump in here, Martin. I understand that you knew he was an amazing broadcaster, but I want to know for you, when did you know that you guys were going to be very good friends forever?
Well, it took a while, but he came round to my flat in a place called, I think it was Robindale, outside Ramberg. And we went through my record collection, and every time he flicked over another album, he just laughed. Because his choice of music and mine was
Oh dear.
never the same.
Oh,
But we
no.
bonded over my bad selection of music.
We bonded over more than that, Martin. I tell you what, you remember the family now, boy. You remember the family.
Oh, man.
I do indeed. Alex, you're an absolute star. You have been a stalwart of South African broadcasting, and I don't know how they're going to do it without you. I hope that you're going to spend a lot of time still on air. And I want you to know that everybody in South Africa loves to hear the J sang.
Oh, the J thing.
Ah, bless you, Martin.
Martin, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out
Thank
of your
you
holiday
so much, my friend.
to give us the love.
Pleasure. We send love from the south of France, Alex, Chantel, and I.
Mwah.
And
Thank you
nice
so much, the
guys.
Baileys. You guys rock. Thank you, Martin.
And do you guys still, call each other? You WhatsApping each other? Or?
Birthdays. It's gotten down to birthdays now, and like, oh damn it, I won't be able to get down to Cape Town to see you because I'm doing this gig, and Martin's only coming out for literally like 10 days or whatever. So it's been a mission in trying to maintain contact with friends over the years. But yeah, we're still tight, and I know that we can pick up from where we left off anytime.
So the beauty of what we're doing here is that we are saluting a legend who's Alex J, and legends are calling in, and this next guy also quite legendary, and you guys have passed the same corridors plenty of times. His name is Bob Mabena.
Ah, Bob! Bob, how are you, man?
Oh, the thing, man.
It's the J thing.
The thing
Bob.
was a thing.
How are you, Mr. B? I love you, man.
Good, man. How's it going with you? I mean, what the hell? You getting out?
Nah, I've become... I don't want to say an irrelevance, but I've become not necessary for this particular format. And Bob, you look around at the radio industry now. You tell me that I'm not leaving this station in damn good hands, huh?
Well, there you go. There's comfort in that. There's real comfort in that. But you know what? A lot of people have always looked at a category of the coolest white people on radio.
Yes.
And you were the first coolest white person on radio.
Oh, bless
I
you,
remember
Bob.
the first time I heard Suzanne Vega,
Yeah.
Tom's Diner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was not particularly a pop song. It was not a hip-hop song. It was very middle-of-the-road dance song. The first time I heard it, I was like, this white boy, get out of here. It was fantastic. And the mixing thing on Fridays on 5, it started with you.
Yeah, hell, that's
really?
right. Yeah, I used to...
Fantastic stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So we have the Ultimix today on 5FM because of you, Mr. J.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
But now, Bob, what I want to ask is, you've dabbled with management on radio, and you've been on air. Then you do management. Then you're on air. Alex has only done on air. Why have we not pulled this man into management?
Because he's a white boy. Come on, it's somebody else's turn. You know the deal.
What's the vibe there, Bob? If he does go into management, what must he look out for?
The baby powder thing, and when you change, you got a baby, Anele. Management in radio is about changing nappies. So I would go and send him over to Johnson & Johnson to get a few products because you change a lot of diapers.
Alex, are you ready to change a lot of diapers?
No.
So you don't want to ever go into management?
Maybe personal management or personnel or some kind of, like station management. No.
Okay.
But program management, that's a different thing.
Where you're working with us one-on-one.
Absolutely.
And
working with the sound or working with the talent.
Grooming, molding.
That would be cool.
We need a lot of that.
We do.
We definitely need a lot of that because we have a lot of people who shouldn't be on radio who are on radio now. But if they had great coaches and great leadership, seriously, because come to think about it, guys, everybody in their lives have consumed radio.
Yeah.
So we can't say so-and-so is not good for radio, and so we just need good coaches. And I think, Alex would be fantastic. As a matter of fact, if you want to know about good, great format radio, listen to Alex J. The guy doesn't put a foot wrong. Has never has, as a matter of fact.
I agree with you.
Sure.
Bob, thank you so much. And good luck with
Bless
all
you,
your
Bob.
new endeavors on the radio land. Okay?
Yeah, it's sounding good.
Pleasure.
Ooh,
Thank you
did
very
I just
much,
say
guys.
that? No, it is.
So, Bob, go away before you get us into
Bless you,
trouble.
Bob.
If you just joined us, we are paying tribute, giving a massive salute. It's like the 21 gun salute for Alex J, who will be bidding 947 farewell tomorrow. Right now, when I joined 947, there were two guys who were your guys. There was one guy in the morning and there was one guy in the afternoon. The guy in the afternoon was Alex J, and the guy in the morning was Jeremy Mansfield, and he is on the line to talk to you.
My goodness, Jeremy Mansfield, how are you?
Mansfield.
Now, wait a minute. Are you taking time out of a busy political campaign to do this? Because I heard a rumor, Jeremy. Come on.
No, it's not a rumor. I have been asked to stand, and I've made myself available to stand.
So aiming to be mayor of Josie somewhere down the line.
No, listen, this is not about me.
I know. I was like, how is Alex turning this around?
I'm redirecting.
Yeah.
This is about Alex J. Jeremy, talk to your friend.
You know what? When I grew up, Anele, when we all grew up, we had people that we idolized and that we looked up to. And when I was growing up, there were two people. I always knew that I wanted to go into radio. But there were two people who I looked up to because they were the only two people I knew who translated, and there are very few people who can achieve this, who translated across radio and television. And those two people were Kevin Savage and Alex J. And that's why I have always looked up to and admired Alex and Kevin for what they have achieved in an industry that I wanted to go into. It's very difficult. People who are not in media don't understand the very huge differences between the forms of radio and television, and for people to be able to work in both those mediums and work effectively and properly in both those mediums is a tribute to themselves.
Or it's a really happy accident, Jeremy. Let's just be honest now. Come on, a really happy accident.
And I mean, you guys.
You should have lost that stupid friggin' feather that you used to wear.
Come on, those stupid earrings, Isn't it ridiculous, huh? Isn't it ridiculous? Now it's a Twitter comment and your career's over. What?
So, Jeremy, I want to ask you, in the years that you've known Alex and you've looked up to him, and obviously you met him and you got to work with him, when you looked at him and you realized, oh my word, here lies such a great guy, and even outside of radio, I like him. I like him as a broadcaster, but outside of that, I like him as well.
Yeah, but now he's going to say, no, that's not true. He's an actual total beep, and it's going to go, no, okay, all right.
I'm sure there's something he can think of. Come on, Jim.
No, you know what, the thing was, I really only engaged with Alex on a professional level within a studio environment. But I was aware on a daily basis, because when I was doing the Rude Awakening, Alex used to take over at 9 o'clock. And I was very, very aware on a daily basis that I was handing over an audience to somebody who had probably 10 times more experience and talent than I had. There was almost a commitment to hand over an audience with respect and say,
wow, man,
the audience, this is now going to Mr. J.
Can I now turn it back on you? Because this speaks to what Prime Media is all about. When I was approached to join, because I was still down in Cape Town, when I was approached to join 947, I was spoken to by the CEO, and I was spoken to by the station manager. And then they, on separate days, then I get the call back and they say, right, it's clear, in principle, we would like you to come and join us, but you have to pass your final interview. And I said, fine, who's doing the final interview? And it was this guy that's on the phone right now. He was the morning guy at the time. He was the guy that was responsible for changing the direction of 94.7 Highveld Stereo.
Yeah.
Built up that massive head of steam, and they would not let me get onto this radio station without the number one guy's approval. They flew Jeremy down to Cape Town. We sat at Forry's at the waterfront. We had a couple of beers, shook hands, and that was the deal. That is what Prime Media is, and that is something that no other radio station does, dude. Nobody does.
Jeremy.
So bless you, Jeremy. Thank you for letting me pass muster, man.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thank you, Anele.
All the
Love you,
love,
darling.
all the love, all
Bless
the
you,
love
man.
to
And
everyone.
good
on
luck with that
side.
run, dude. Good luck.
We'll be voting.
Alex J really is a legend. I remember the days when Alex J was the J Thang. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was on 5FM that on Friday afternoons he used to play for us the club tracks from overseas. And most of the songs that was played there, we never heard ever again. Then also, most people do not know it, but Prophets of the City was first introduced by Alex J on a festival at Ellis Park somewhere in the 80s. You go well, Alex J. Thank you.
947. Good stuff. For more of The Cure, you can catch Barney or The Skin on this Saturday. I'm sorry, these T-shirts not available in South Africa. Cure Tour 86. Lucky old me to have one. Pays to our friends in the industry, huh? But we do, for you, have 20 albums by The Cure, Standing on the Beach, the singles. As for the first 20 correct entries, sent to box 92990. 947.
Oh, what? No! Lord,
OMG.
No, it
Does that make
cannot
you feel
be.
old?
Oh, Lord, that makes me feel old.
What makes you feel old besides people mentioning ages?
When I bump into friends and I meet their kids and I'm like, I thought you were 3. No, I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah, because time flies, dudes. Time flies.
Time flies, and in that time, in the decades that you spent in the broadcasting field, you came across a guy called Darren Scott.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
And you know, as much as you're a legend, I also believe that he is a legend. And so the legends must now have a chat. Darren Scott, welcome to the show.
Darren, how's it,
Hey,
man?
Anele, how are you? Hey, Alex, how's it going, buddy?
Good in you, you big swinging golf whacker, you.
Yeah, pot kettle black. Did you ever get the ball out of that tree?
No, we just left it there. Yeah, look where that idiot hit the ball.
Golf
I
stories.
remember that song from The Who at 5FM, and I still, when I hear it, I think, am I listening to a song? I'm about to get hit by a train.
Yeah, absolutely.
Darren, tell us, what's your fondest memory of this man here? It can be a bad story as well, because I just feel like we're only saying good things about him.
Well, look, my fondest memories of some of my best times in the 30 years of radio, which is shorter than Alex's time, was working with Alex at 5FM back in the late 90s. I think those first 3 or 4 years at 5 was fantastic. We had some really good people there, and of course, Alex was legendary already in those days. I was still trying to get in somewhere. That's my fondest memory, but I don't have a good memory of Alex, and I don't know if he'll ever remember this. And talking about saying how old you are, Alex, take your mind back about 34, 35 years.
Holy cow.
Early
Yes.
1980s.
Yes.
You were, I don't know if you were working at 702 back in the Anderson House days or not, but do you remember they used to held auditions for new presenters?
Yes, of course. They're the legendary Hot Jocks.
That's correct. And it eventually narrowed it down to a few people, and then I got a call on a Saturday to come in on a Saturday morning. Me and my mates came in my Ford Anglia and arrived at the station. There was no one there except the guys on air, and there was one guy sitting in reception who had spiky hair with a mullet.
Oh, Lord.
We know who that is.
And I walked in, I looked at this guy, and I thought, okay, there's the enemy. It was down to 2 people that had to go and do a final voice test.
Are you kidding me? It was you versus me?
Alex Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the other guy there. And
You are kidding me.
No.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's true story.
Oh, man.
That's where I think you started with 702 then, and I went back to campus radio for another 20 years.
Good grief,
another 20 years.
Darren, I can't believe that, man. How bizarre. How utterly bizarre.
Yeah.
But again, as I was saying earlier on, I mean, like when I started in radio, there were 12 radio stations. Now there's literally 280-something.
How amazing that both of you existed in the same industry and you reached the same highs, though.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, Alex existed at a different level in those days to me.
Yeah, but look at you now, boy.
Yeah.
Media house owner. Yoo-hoo!
Darren, thank you so much. It means the world to us that you jumped on board.
Thank you so much, my
So
brother.
good to chat to you, Anele, and see you all the best, buddy. You're
Thank you,
an absolute honor,
Darren.
legend.
You rock star, you, man. Thank you, mate.
Alex J, what a great father. What a
Ah,
great husband.
Bonnie!
And DJ, not too shabby. I'm going to do this quickly, and Alex, you'll remember this. It's the J thing, the Alex J thing. Man, that was amazing. And then in front of that,
Oh,
I
hell
still
yeah.
can't do it.
In front of
MC at our wedding, I'll never forget that. Amazing. Still got the photos, by the way, and the video.
that was good.
And then we worked with the Paul Simon album as well. You were the first to play Graceland.
Yes.
From vinyl, nog al.
Yep.
That was a good memory. And yeah, maybe I shouldn't mention this, but we were at Santon City on the roof somewhere, and you were still in a 702 Volkswagen, I think it was, a little Beetle. No, it was a...
Golf, one of them.
Can't remember. Listen, it was a rough night. We were on top of the roof, and we couldn't get out, and you drove straight through the boom with a branded vehicle. Man, that was a good night.
Deny
Hopefully you're
it.
not listening to this. And then thank you very much for the inspiration and for being very humble, always humble. You go well, my son, and when the hell are we going to brag?
Hey, Alex, it's Ian F. And it's kind of weird because the wheel turns. I remember you doing a farewell message to me when I left radio all those years ago. And here I am doing the same for you. But I think it's true to say that you are the voice of a generation of people that grew up in South Africa listening to the radio, and you are synonymous with so many of those radio thoughts when a lot of us who listen to the radio think back to the 80s and the 90s. I had the privilege of being able to push buttons for Alex in the 90s, and I hope you forgive me, Al, for all those mornings when I didn't wake up on time and used to come in late to the show. It was a disaster. But seriously, I wish you all the best, and I thank you for your mentorship and your friendship, and truly to one of the most intellectual, intelligent, kind, giving, wonderful human beings. You're going to be missed on air. So look after yourself, mate, and thank you for being a legend, because you are an absolute legend.
Hello, Al. It's Grant Nash here.
Oh, Grant!
I'll never forget the day that I met you for the first time after listening to you for many, many years. I met you at the then Highveld Studios. I was a young guy, and you invited us into the studio, and you were just so warm and so welcoming, and you made everybody feel so special. And I think that is just testament to the incredible human being that you are. And then what's even more amazing is that you had the ability to make your listeners feel exactly the same thing. And that's testament to what an incredible broadcaster you have been. We're going to miss you. Love you, big guy. Ciao.
Oh, Grant.
And
sweet. And Barney.
All
and
broadcasters
Ian.
feel like that, though. They feel like, you all had like this impact on us, whether big or small. And it was never slanted the wrong way. It's like you always made us feel like we can and will be as great as you.
You guys are the lifeblood of the industry. Everybody coming in it's new and exciting and it's amazing, and you can be one of the older guys and stand around and go, well, that's not really the way it's done. But I like the way you're doing it. I like it because it's different. You're not coloring within the lines. You're going outside, and we're getting a nice little thing going here. It's been an amazing honor working with young people at this radio station. And you know that whole thing about the elixir of youth?
Yeah.
What is the elixir of youth? Dorian Gray painted the picture and hung it in the attic, and the picture got old and he never got old. I never got old because I kept my ears fresh and I hung out with young people.
All right.
Your attitude, your ability to anticipate the future and put things in effect to get there is what has kept me motivated, and it's just it's been such an honor. Wow.
So in the years that you've been in broadcasting, in the years that you have been Alex J, do you feel like there's still someone you A, owe an apology, or B, they owe you an apology?
Me and apologies, no. Do people owe me apologies? No, not at all. Do I owe people? I have a lost period in the 90s. It's a little bit foggy, and I'm sure. I did go around apologizing to various people for various things, for various reasons. After that, but more about that in a book at a later stage. But I did, I think, apologize to everybody. If I didn't, if I've offended you, if you are one of those guys that go like, dude, come on, your time's up. You're a logjam. You're there blocking new talent on the... I apologize. I'm really sorry. I was just enjoying what I was doing. And I was living a fabulous life. But that's all going to change now. I'm going to become a worker.
We're looking forward to your book. Do you perhaps have a name for it that you've thought of yet?
Yeah, the working title was Radio Days, D-A-Z-E.
Not the J thing.
Nah, not the J thing. It was, growing up in. I mean, what a time! What a time! We grew up at the death of apartheid. We grew up at a time when we all starting to get on the same page. We grew up at a time when the music was going and where the direction was being dictated by the musicians as opposed to the politicians and the artists and the actors and the writers. And I wish we were back there.
Listen, this hour was absolutely fantastic. It went by a lot quicker than I thought it would. There were so many other people who wanted to say things. I know Alex Cage is sitting in there.
Oh,
Alex, do you want to come in here and just wrap it up for us? There's a story that you wanted to tell about Alex, to Alex.
Go on.
Yeah, so when I first got the call to come and try out at their 94.7 Highveld Stereo was from a lady by the name of Matapelo.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I want to quickly introduce you to somebody that's going to really just give you a bit of a taste of what we are and what it is to work in this industry. And the first person that she introduced me to this building and commercial radio was you as well. She walked me into studio, and I don't know if you can remember it. I'm sure you've met so many people, but she introduced me to you, and you just spoke so highly of radio and this company, and it's just been the most incredible time that I've had. And it all started thanks to what you said about this industry, and this was the most incredible thing for me, just to show how professional Alex was and still is how you were talking, and then literally 3 seconds before the song ended, you quickly put your headphones on, and it was like you were prepping for the link.
Seamless.
For 3 hours. It was seamless, it was perfect. And to this day, that's how I see Anele coming along and doing that. You are just absolutely living up to the name of legend. So you sir have inspired and you're brilliant. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my favorite namesake.
And the studio is full. People here to bid you farewell. Alex J.
They just want to make sure I actually get out the building. Yeah, I know.
You have been amazing. You've been warm. You have been the perfect father, the perfect husband, and the perfect colleague. And from myself and the 947 team and the Prime Media team, Joburg, South Africa as a whole, we thank you for everything that you have done. And please do not stop who you are.
Never. And ditto to you. I am so happy the station's in such good hands, guys. So happy.
We're out of here.
This is 947 with Alex J.
Oh.